Let me know if you have any questions. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming by today. Today is another great day to be alive. Can we not agree? But man, some scary things are happening. We are running into some crazy stuff that is happening when it comes to inflation. And remember, inflation is probably, besides population collapse, the number one threat to everybody because the costs are going to soar. Imagine trying to move forward in a world where we are now going to have double the price of everything and your salary is never going to move. And that is a very big problem. So, how do we have this forever inflation? How are you going to be screwed forever? So, this is what we have written down for you. And hopefully, this is going to help out a little bit. This is what I call forever inflation. Now, forever inflation, if we look at this, imagine in 2018, the price is going to be $100. 2019, it's $100. If we go up to 2020, now the price for things are $120. If the price goes from that, now that means a 20% rise in prices. That would mean 20% inflation. If the price went from 100 to 120, 20%. What happens if it goes another 20%, which it did in 2021? Now it goes up another 20% to $145. So that's 20% again. Now, what happens when the price goes from 145 to 145? All of a sudden, it stays the same over 12 months, same as down here. And they're going to say 0% gain. It went from 145 to 145, and now that's 0%. And they will be on every news channel cheering that your price has not gone up at all. But guess what? I don't care what anyone wants to call it. Either it's inflation, it's not inflation. They wouldn't want to say that the costs are controlled now. The point is now it's going to be stuck at that price forever. Your wage hasn't gone up 40%, but your cost of stuff is going to go up 40. And this is what the danger is they count this only in the past 12 months going up 20%, 20%. And then they hit this and they're going to say 0% year over year win. When is the last time, I ask you, when is the last time that home prices just happened to drop 40%? They didn't. Once they go up, they never come down. And that's the big problem. So we have to be very, very careful when we hear all this news like this. So today in the news, the United States wants to announce that the inflation is only 8%, 8.5 or something like that. And it's not higher than that. Unbelievable. Listen, that is the worst news that you can see 8%. So it wasn't 8.9. Really? Seriously? It's still really bad. And guess what? The crazy markets went up 400 and something points because they were like, oh, this is so good. We can't believe that it only went up that much. Are we that like war torn? Have we gone through so much that we now can say, oh my goodness, 8%, that's great news? I mean, I just can't even believe that we're getting to that point that we are excited about 8% inflation when I am horrified by that because we have now just gone in and stole 8% away from people. So I'm horrified and it will never go back. So when is the last time, tell me, please, one example in history, one ever, that the home prices have crashed down back to where they were before the problems? When has food prices dropped down to where it was before? Everybody's mixed up. Everyone's like in this paradoxical place where everything is getting mixed up and they don't know what is what. So is it inflation? Is it deflation? Oh, is it stagflation? Whatever. It doesn't mean anything. All it means is that your quality of life is going down. If it's inflation, you're not going to be able to afford the things that you want. If it's deflation, you're still not going to be able to afford the things you want. If it's stagflation, you're still not going to get the things that you want. No matter how we slice this, your quality of life is going to go down. And that is the main problem. So when we look at a chart, like this fun chart that I drew here for you, if the cost goes up 20%, it then it evens out. They're going to be happy with that. And this means that we're going to be stuck with this inflation forever. Now, the bill has come due because what happened in 2020 has now trickled down, and now we have to pay that bill. So it's going to be really, really expensive for us moving forward. The craziness of watching inflation be still the stock markets go up proves that you cannot time the market. So these people who try to teach you to jump in the market, jump out when it's bad, you could have lost half your year's gains if you were out of the market in the month of July. So this is why you have to have multiple strategies going on at the same time, where you invest into a stock like, say, Warren Buffett's stock. Buy that and continue buying that for as long as you go. Don't worry about trying to buy, sell. You're stacking it for your retirement, and don't look at the prices in the meantime. That's the main thing. This inflation is going to continue to hurt people, but it is also the topic of the day. Remember back in 2020 when everybody needed money to stay open, everybody wants checks, so they go and print a lot of money. They're going to do what the public wants. On the flip side, now we're going to come into another time when now inflation is the top story of the day. So everyone is going to do what they can to bring down inflation. On that note, what is happening for them to try to bring down inflation? As they do that, they have said that their target is 2%. 2% is their target, and they will not stop until they hit 2%. So last night we were doing a live, and people were asking, what do you think it's going to be tomorrow? What do you think it's going to be tomorrow? Does it matter? It doesn't matter if it's 9%, 7%, 8%. It doesn't matter. It's all too high. So regardless of what it is, it's not going to be 2%, which means they will keep on dropping those rates. I think it's September 6th for Canada. They're going to be announcing another rate hike. It could be over 1% this time. We also, the states, I think, have 3 more meetings to go. As those meetings continue, they're going to be raising rates every single time. How does it affect you? 1% on an interest rate loses 10% of the value of your home. Like that, evaporates. 5 million homes in Toronto, all of them will lose 10% of their value almost across the board if they raise the interest rates by 1%. That's just how it goes. So it's going to really, really, really affect you. And so if the cost of everything in your life doubles, I mean, the cost of gas, it already has, by the way. Gas and food has almost doubled in price already. But what happens if it doubles again from where it is? If you had that level of food and that level of electricity and that level of gas and everything doubles from where it is today, people will not be able to afford housing at the prices that they are today. And that's where we'll see the prices come down. So I urge caution. If you're going to be buying a house in cash, do not buy it now, because I think the prices will drop a lot more. The pain is coming. So there is something called sticky categories, and it takes about 2 years for things to happen. So in 2020, what was the story? We needed a lot of money. Everybody print money. Please print. We need checks. So the governments were printing all of this fake money and handing it out to everybody like monopoly money. But that was the story of the day. When did all of this inflation really come to light? This year. This year is when it came, 2 years later. What happened when everybody was leaving the city? Rents were very low in 2020. They were printing all that money. When did rent prices hit all the news? The rent prices hit all the news this year, 2 years later. So what do you think is going to happen when these interest rates have gone up this year? We can see those effects over the next 2 years. Here are some really, really, really important points. Right now, the housing prices are only affected by new buyers. This is a really important point. Right now, the new prices are only because of new buyers cannot qualify for the mortgages. So far, we have seen no indication of anybody not able to pay their mortgage. But let me give you an example. One of our clients, he has a $500,000 unit, $3,000 a month mortgage on his unit. He's paying his payments, and his mortgage payment went from $3,000 to $3,975. $975 more. So let's call it $1,000 more a month. He doesn't have it. So he tells me that he's going to put the extra $1,000 a month on his credit card. That's dangerous. How many months can you live like that? He goes, I have $5,000 left on my house. So what on his credit card? So you have 5 months to go. What is your plan? He goes, I plan that I hope that it gets better. And I'm like, well, hope is not a plan. You need to have a better plan than that. So this one guy is probably going to lose his property. That's what he thinks. I think so too. But there's a lot of people. Some people have maybe 9 months left. Some people may have 12 months left before they run out of money and can't keep the whole three-ring circus going. You're going to see, even if they leave the rates exactly where they are today, you're going to see people not being able to requalify at the higher rates. Those people who had 2%, 1.5% mortgages, and they're going to have to re-go at a new mortgage rate of 7%, they will not be able to afford their homes. It's just how it is. So far, the damage that you've seen, and everyone is running for the hills at a 30% drop, a 40% drop in prices. Everyone's running for the hills. It hasn't started yet. If they leave the rates exactly where they are today, the trouble will keep coming over the next couple of years as people are going through the cycle of refinancing themselves. A lot of problems are coming. And so my biggest warning to everybody is please be cautious. Do not buy if it's in cash. If you're going to be selling a property, now is the time to be thinking about selling it. Even though the prices are down 30%, remember, they're the exact same prices as it was in August 2021. So same prices as then. Everyone wants to say there's 50% less sales this year. Okay, you're right. But it's still 30% up from when it was in 2019. So just be very careful in the next little season. There are ways to get through this, and there's ways for you to build wealth because we are going to be prepared for this. We're going to be able to buy those properties at pennies on the dollar in the future. Anyway, I'm there for you like always. I'm here for your health, wealth, and happiness, and you can join me on the next video.